Here's exactly how much YouTube pays me with around 200,000 subscribers. In September, my channel brought in 780,000 views. And this made me a total of $32,000 last month. And so far for the whole year, I've made almost $200,000. It's a ton of work. I post videos every single week. But in my opinion, it's one of the best jobs in the world. So if you've been thinking about starting a channel, I highly recommend it.
I'm a teen in high school and I make over $28,000 a month, and I'm gonna show you exactly how I do this as a teen in high school. And before you guys say, oh my gosh dude, you're lying, as you can see, this channel has made $10,000 as well as this channel that's made $12,000. If you could not tell, the way I am making this money is through YouTube. YouTube is the easiest way to make money right now, is turning thousands of kids into millionaires. But the reason I was able to grow as fast as I did was because of a tool called YouTube Revenue. YouTube Revenue is a guide as well as a Discord server that helps you grow your channel extremely fast. Using this guide, I was able to go from making $10 a month to tens of thousands of dollars a month. If you want to join, the link is in the bio, or you can just follow and DM me.
It is your boy Black Ronin, back on at it again with another banger and fire video for y'all's out here today. There y'all, welcome on back to the channel. And guys, I gotta cook with this one. I gotta cook with this one because there's probably a lot of people out there thinking the same thing that I'm thinking, but I truly believe, and this is just my opinion, I much rather choose being a YouTuber over going to college. Crucify me, say what you want, but hear me out. Now, why do I choose this option? I'm 25 years old and I'm just looking around. I say, you know what? That's not a bad idea. Sure, I ain't got my life all figured out and all fully together, but at least I'm consistent. At least I have a sense of direction in life. Most people don't even have that. And on top of that, I'm way more healthier than most people. I got things that actually matter in life. Sure, I ain't got certain things just yet. Money's gonna come and go, guys. And guess what? Give a person like me a bunch of money, I'm gonna be a very, very powerful individual because I know how to move. Give an idiot a bunch of money, he's gonna blow through it like it ain't nothing. You know, one thing about me, you know, like I really don't have, honestly, any addictions like a lot of Americans do. A lot of Americans are either gamblers, like gambling, alcoholism, so alcoholics, you know, excessive, just everything you can think of that can just be extremely excessive. Americans will do it. And another thing about me, I rarely drink alcohol. I always shock a lot of people when I say that, but they're like, what you mean you don't drink alcohol? I just don't. Like guys, I'd never been drunk before. Like I'll go sip a little bit of alcohol. Like, yeah, I'll drink a little bit. I'll get a little tipsy, but that's about it. I've never been drunk before. And I just never seen the point of getting drunk. Now, if you want to get high, that's different. I ain't gonna lie. Listen, if you smoking the trees, that's a different story. You know, like cause you can still operate. In fact, there are times where I'm just more creative. I don't know, like there is times where I get a little extra spark to just be more creative every now and then. Or if I got really bad pain, yeah, I'll go hit the trees and, you know, yeah, I just feel better, you know, like relieves the stress in my body. But even that, I rarely do it. And I just never been addicted to anything. So what really separates me from most people, I don't have anything I'm really addicted to like that. And even when it comes down to women, listen, like at the end of the day, a man, he's always going to have his needs. But compare me to the average American. The average American has no self-control when it comes down to their man downstairs at all. And I'm just looking around, I'm like, first of all, the average man don't even scrap up when they go smash. And then on top of that, the average man just smash anything. I take the time, and if I'm going to lay down with a woman, she's going to look good. Best believe that. So the average man is just very weak in a lot of areas. So if you give him a bunch of money, you know where his money is going. But you give me a good chunk of money, I'm going to make it go far. Heck, I don't even need a whole lot to go far. You can give me 10,000 and I can do something very outstanding with it, like super outstanding with that. Like, I really don't need much to really like catapult myself. But the reason I would choose being a YouTuber over going to college, because look at our economy, guys. Look around. Everything is collapsing. It's falling apart. I'm about ready. In fact, this might be my next video, but I'm about ready to be like, hey man, China, if y'all watching, like, we need y'all to come save America. Like, guys, China is literally 50 years in the future. They are so futuristic over there. And versus us over here, compare their technology to our technology. We're living in the Stone Age. You know, and I feel like China, man, they're gonna have to come save America, because we really going out sad out here. It really is. So with everything collapsing, why would I want to go to college when I know the future is online, it's digital, it's AI? That's a big money maker. So it's just like, why would I bother to go jump into college, get into a bunch of debt, knowing that my job could be replaced? Most jobs could be replaced by AI in 2030. You have to move very smart in this day and age. You know, the old norm that we used to do, that's no longer sustainable. Jobs are no longer sustainable. And people are going to be like, well, YouTube's not that sustainable. That's true, but you know, if my channel one of these days happen to really blow up and I pull a few $100,000 or whatever in 1 month, because that is possible. If you're really in tune and you got a good business model going for you, hey, it's very possible to pull some mega numbers on YouTube. So if I pull them type of numbers coming into my bank account and I happen to lose my, God forbid, I happen to lose my YouTube channel, I'm gonna still be okay. Versus I lose a job, I'm kind of SOS, And that's the point, guys, because with YouTube, you actually have control. It's not regulated, really, not really. You don't need a startup license and everything to do it. You can just post. You ain't got to worry about nothing until you start making some decent money. Then that's when you got to start really treating it like a business, and making sure you have this, have that, But it's the easiest business to do. And in fact, I'm just looking around, I'm just like, well, it makes the most sense, because if you're an entrepreneur and you don't have much money, I mean, what better business than YouTube is there to start? If you got some type of talent, any type of expertise in something like that, knowledge or something, share that. Because that's really the future right here. It's this online stuff. Now, granted, I will say this. When I make a big chunk of change off of YouTube, I'll jump it into real estate. Real estate, but not in America. I'll go overseas for that. I'll go into foreign real estate, have my money coming in like that. I really don't want to start any businesses here in America like that unless it's online. That way I can just get my money in US dollars, live overseas, and really maximize myself. That's really how I plan to do things. And another thing, guys, with YouTube, I know a lot of people are going to be like, well, you don't really make much for a while. Most people don't even reach a certain threshold, and then you got to constantly worry about views. Listen, there are so many ways to make money with YouTube. It's insane. Like, you don't just have to rely off the ad revenue. You can literally make money like within your business, within another business that you have. So if you make t-shirts, if you sell cookbooks, you can throw all that in there, all that together, and have links to everything. Have a website, all that stuff, all in one. You got extra skills, throw that on your channel and watch how far you'll go. So you'll make the money from your ad revenue, plus everything, your digital products that's going to be selling as well. Now, how do you approach that? Hey, there's many approaches. But I just don't see the point of just going to college right now. Because I remember a time growing up when I was a teenager. Actually, no, not a teenager. Back when I was a kid. And, back then, I remember people, they used to work one job. One job, and they was able to pay for everything. That's not the same anymore. Everybody got to work. Everybody. And on top of that, this is how you know things are really hitting the fan, because I remember back in the day when I was in high school, my English teacher, I believe, maybe, but he had told us, he said, hey, if all else fails in your life, you always got fast food, flipping burgers. It'll keep a roof over your head, not the most glamorous, but hey, it'll pay the bills. Even that's not an option no more. That's how you know things are really messed up over here. You can't even go into McDonald's and live a decent, good living anymore. Keep a roof over your head, have a family, do all that. Nope. Can't do it no more. So I'm just looking at all my options. Now, people are going to be like, well, you should have more skills than just YouTube. Who said I don't have more skills? Who said I'm not doing anything outside of YouTube? Best believe I'm doing a lot of stuff. But I'm just very, very smart. I'm very calculated with everything I do, because I realize we are moving into the digital age. And this YouTube stuff, social media, learning about AI, that's the future that's going to make people a lot of money. And what's going to happen to everybody else who don't happen to catch on and they get left behind, I really don't know. Now, there are some possibilities. If let's say if AI really do take over and wipe out 80% of jobs, maybe, since we don't really have to worry about paying AI and robots, because they do everything for us, maybe everything becomes free. Housing becomes free. Your debt happens to go away for the most part. You can actually spend time with family. You can have a family because you don't have to worry about nothing. The robots are doing everything, and they're generating so much cash flow to the point where you can live pretty much as simple as possible. You can live however you want to live. But if money is taken away and you don't have to worry about money, then what about the people who are so used to working and doing certain things? What are they going to do? You're going to have people out there who are like, well, if I want to make money and travel, how is that going to work? Or is the government going to give everybody an allowance at that point? Never know. So there could be some good come out of it, but it is a wild future that we're heading towards. But I just don't think the old college routine and, doing all that, I don't think it's worth it. I think YouTube is the better option. And when you think about it, 4 years can really be life-changing if you go hard with YouTube versus 4 years in college. You already got to go above and beyond. Why not have that same approach with YouTube? That's all I'm saying. And guess what? There's many ways, if you're smart with it, to protect your channel. So let's say if your channel does happen to get all the strikes and everything demonetized, there's still other ways to make money. Still other ways. And even if your channel does happen to get terminated, still other ways to make money. You got backup plans. But that's just my opinion, guys. I think social media and all this stuff, digital, that's the future. And I don't think there's really no point in college, in my opinion. I'm not against it if that's what you want to do, but I just think if you're a creative person, that's going to take you a much longer way in life. And there is not a lot of people who continue to stay creative, especially at my age, mid-20, 25 years old. I don't meet too many people like me. I don't meet too many people with the discipline like me. And I definitely don't meet too many people as creative as me, literally as creative as me. So with that said, guys, that's really all I got to say. Let me know what you guys think. It is your boy, Black Ronin. Like and subscribe, share. Do you guys agree that social media and AI, that's the future to making money? But if not, I would like to know in the comments.